Welcome back, everybody. It's another episode of Pursuit of Profit. I'm your co-host, Chris Angel, here with your host, Leanne Ozaine-Smith.
Hey, Chris.
Hello, friend. That was a great episode last episode.
We had fun.
I had a lot I wanted to say, and I didn't want to like step on anything you said because it was amazingly perfect. You all need to go back and listen to that if you didn't hear it, which was all about not being disorganized with money, but being disoriented.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll leave it at that. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to that episode. So that being said, coming out of that episode here, I'm going to set this up for us. I, as the creative entrepreneur who's like, all over the place and disoriented all the time about money, it left me with this is just my life. Like all the time I feel disoriented around money, like all the time. And I don't know what else is possible. I don't even know what I don't know about what's possible in my relationship to money. Money just always occurs as, I don't want to say the enemy, but it always occurs as this thing that I just have a mental breakdown around. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, by the way, I sucked at math growing up. Like just a lot of stuff where I'm like, there's a lot of walls probably. I love money.
You love having it.
I love having money. And there's all sorts of walls built up around, like, I don't want to have to figure it out. I just love having it. And so I don't know what's possible even in a life of being at peace with money and profit and the flow, like all of it. So I thought this would be an interesting episode for you to coach me around.
Yeah.
Like cast some vision.
I want to ask you a question first.
Okay. Ask me a question.
What did your parents teach you about money directly?
There wasn't a lot of that conversation.
Okay.
We didn't have a lot of that conversation.
What did they teach you about money by observation? What did you learn from them?
They had lots of fights around money.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What did you learn about money as far as their behavior with money? With money itself, not with each other.
I don't know. I'm trying to think about the observations I made.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay. Because a lot of times our default habits and behaviors with money are traced right back to our upbringing. So like in my case, I grew up in a family where we were very poor, and a mom who didn't work and a dad who didn't make enough, and all of that ensued with that. And little Miss Leanne growing up promised herself that I would never be in that situation, that I would always make my own money and such, which actually is deeply rooted in rebellion. Deeply rooted in rebellion.
What? You're a rebel? Get out of here. What? Get out of here.
I know it's impossible to imagine. But the deep root of rebellion is still very present with me in my behavior with money, like what I do and don't do. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that rebellion looks like I'm kind of cagey and quiet about money that I've made. I'm really protective. I'm like mama bear. So the point, like I want to get back to you. But I want to use myself as an example. Like those type of things are still in me. And so I guess what I'm asking, Chris, is what behavior is still in you that you could maybe draw back to something you observed with your parents?
Yeah, that's great. I get access to, okay, so there's a couple things that pop for me when you say that. One is once a week we would go to pizza at a place called Rico's. And it was back in the arcade days when you could get a token. You like put $1 in and you get like 4 tokens.
Yeah.
And so Rico's turned into a Round Table franchise, which to this day we still love Round Table. But we would go once a week, and I would be like, or when I was originally there, I'd be like, I want to go play a ton of games, but I would get $1. So my mom would say like, you get $1. So I got $1. I would go play my game, and I'd be done. I remember so that's one memory. Okay, so I get $1. That's all I get. Then the other memory, a couple others. One was we had a vacation condo in Bend, Oregon.
Yep.
And we would go, and they had an arcade there. And I would want to play arcades. I just loved the game thing. I didn't have a Nintendo. I had an Atari, but I didn't get a Nintendo. So that was another memory. I never got the cool thing. I got the second to cool thing.
Yeah, right? So you got one corner and the second cool thing.
Yep. I didn't get like all the sugar cereal that my friends got. I got like Wheaties. and cornflakes and Rice Krispies and all that crap. I didn't get the Nikes. I got like the fake Nikes. I got like, right. So all that. And so I remember going to Bend for vacations, and I literally would go, I wanted to play games so bad. My parents were like, well, you get one quarter. so I would go, in Oregon, you get 5 cents back on recycling cans. I would go to all the public garbage cans, open them up. I would bring all the beer cans and bottles out. I would have 3 to 5 big ass garbage bags full of cans. And we would put the beer smelling nasty bags in the back of the trunk. And we would go to the grocery store in Bend so I could get money to play video games.
Wow.
Like that. That. Like,
that's committed.
I was committed. I mean, I don't know why I did that, but I was damn sure I was going to play some video games. Anyway, it's funny because I feel like I have this rebellious thing too. So now if I take that thought process, and I thought about this a lot actually, and I bring it into my adult life, I'm like, you will not tell me what I can and cannot spend money on. I for damn sure will spend whatever I want to spend. You do not tell me I get one quarter. I will do whatever the hell I want to do. Right. And if I'm down to my last $5, I will spend damn $3 on a coffee and have $2 left over because you're not going to tell me. I have one quarter. I have one quarter to spend in my adult life. I will do whatever I want to do.
Okay.
With money.
That was good work, Chris.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Does that totally like make sense? Like what happened as a kid and how I treated as an adult?
Yeah. So how does that show up in your business life?
Yes. How does it show up in my business life? I will. Money. What do you mean? How does money show up, or how do I spend money?
No, how does that, I will spend it. You can't tell me I can't. How does that show up in your business life?
When I see things I want, like a video game or an arcade game, when I see a course I want, a book I want, a tool I want, I will spend the money. You're not going to tell me that I can't have it because now what's different is then I was spending money for entertainment. Now I actually feel like this matters to me and this is going to get me to the next place. Like I have a vision for where I want to go. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to spend, and you don't get to limit what I want. So when I was a kid, I wanted play. Now I want to go where I want to go. And you don't get to limit me with a quarter if I have some means, whether it's dumpster diving for 5 cent refunds, or it's using as an adult, using a line of credit, mm-hmm. It's the same difference. I'm going to find whatever I can find to get me to where I want to go.
Okay. So in that dialogue, because what we're trying to talk about is what's possible, yeah. Right?
Right.
When you're disoriented with money, it shows up as disorganized. It shows up as it's dirty. I don't want to talk about it. It shows up as rebellion. Like you can't tell me what to do. It shows up in lots of different ways. And it's true of me too. This is just human nature.
Yeah.
But you want to know, our audience wants to know what's possible.
Yep.
So in our previous episode, we were talking about a tragic little story where I got stuck in Texas and I was completely lost. Even I followed my GPS and it put me in Nowheresville. It was stupid. But the realization that I was in a place that I didn't want to be was really strong. So when you say something about the you, like you're not going to tell me that I can't buy that course. You're not going to tell me that I can't buy that or hire that person or do whatever. Who's the you? Who's the threatening authority saying you can't?
Well, as an adult, I don't know. It's the ethereal, anybody that would stand in my way, you.
Okay.
Right? As a kid, it was my parents. I'm not visualizing them as I'm like deciding to do stuff. I'm not like, oh, screw you, mom, or screw you, dad. I'm gonna buy this course and go to this program. But anybody that would say it's the rebelliousness is anybody that would stand in my way. You're not going to stand in the way of the thing that I want. Okay. Does that help?
It helps.
Okay.
But I have some feedback.
Okay, good. Yes, bring it. Bring it on.
I don't think it's anybody that will stand in your way that is the threatening you.
Okay.
I personally think that you, Chris Angel, and me have a sense of like several episodes ago where we talked about like, don't should on yourself.
Yeah.
That there's this kind of thing that's running in us when we're growing a business where we know we should do this and we should do this and we should do that. And there's something in us that tells us we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't do that. And all of that is done with the idea of investing in our business. And I'm going to ask you just a blunt and obvious question. Why the hell would you take, let's just say, $3,000 and invest in a course? Like, what is that going to give you in return? What do you think? What do you believe it's going to do for you?
Answers.
Okay, to questions that you have, right? And if you have the answers to those questions, what is that going to do for your business?
I will finally have the answers that have, I'm stuck here, and I'm stuck because I can't see what I can't see. I'm stuck because I don't have the answer that unlocks the thing the lid that's been keeping me down in my, I feel like I'm capable of all sorts of great things. I feel like I'm made for all sorts of things. So what I believe about myself and my current reality and the current lid on my results is not in sync. Who I think I am and my lack of results are not the same. So when
Hello, microphone.
Almost lost Chardonnay over that.
No alcohol abuse on my show.
Yes, we can just dump the Chardonnay. The answer unlocks the mystery. The answer that I'm investing in, an answer that hopefully opens something new for me, where opens my potential. The answer is directly linked to and connected to my potential.
Yeah. And your potential in business is connected to realizing and making profit. Yes?
Say it again.
Your potential in business, the thing you actually want on the other side of that course.
Yes.
It isn't just about the answer you're getting. You're talking about a lid. And I'm hearing that lid is largely financial.
Yes.
And that largely financial lid is about the flow of the money you make as a business out the door to a family unit, or doing the things that you want your money to do in life. Like when you were a kid collecting cans, you wanted that money so you could do something really specific, but you had to have the money to do it. Yeah. So is it reasonable that the lid that you feel is financial, partially? Yeah, of course. Okay. So what you are talking about is something I hear every single day. And I want to take it out of the context of business, and I want to talk about it in a different context. Okay. So that it feels different. So let's say, Chris, that you get an inheritance and you have $250,000 to do something with. And just for the kid, I'm not telling you what to do with your inheritance at all, because that would backfire for you. Let's just say that you logically go through this thought of like, hey, I have a good friend who's a financial planner, and I'm going to take, her name is Leanne, and I'm going to take this money and give it to her to do something with. So when you walk through the door of my office with $250,000 that you did not earn, you did not have to save, it's just money that came into your life. Yes. You put that $250,000 check in my hand, you are telling me two things, even if you don't say it. You are saying to me, one, Leanne, don't lose this money. Two, Leanne, you need to grow this money using all the little tricks and ninja knives that you have to grow this money. That's what every investor is thinking, and that's what every investor is feeling when they invest anything from $1 or $250,000. It is the thing that goes off in our head about investment. And so I want to take you out of business world and think about the other world, where we actually create assets that create income, right? We create assets that create profit on their own, and it becomes this passive thing. But when we come over here as business owners, we start to spend money on courses or coaching, or we want the top of the line computer or whatever. And when we're doing that, it's because we believe it's going to give us the answers. It's going to unlock something. It's to blow the lid off, right? But what we're really saying is we expect that if we invest this money, obviously buying a top of the line Apple computer is a good investment for a business, right?
Yeah.
Duh. But I'm coming full circle back to your question, which is what's possible.
Yeah.
What's possible is that you can be free from the thinking that there is somebody, some ethereal somebody with a should and should not list, dictating what happens financially for your business. That's what's possible. And until you really, I mean, we're friends, so I'm talking to you straight.
Yeah.
Until you get to a place emotionally and intellectually where that little part of your rebellion that's still in you is something that you can say, you know, that is not serving my business anymore. And that entitlement with a business checkbook gets checked at the door, then you can begin to think like an investor, where the money that you spend on your business actually helps you to create assets that help you create income, like courses that you teach, right? Or the things that you need for your office that helps you create the assets, like your green screen, like those things. It's a reframe. So when we are disoriented, we cannot reframe that. We can't do it. We can't. Feedback.
Yeah. What I'm hearing is that
you need to drink your wine.
What I'm hearing is that there is two things. Okay, the first thing that happened was when you said, like, if I came to you as a financial planner and I had $250,000 inheritance and I was like, here, please grow this. I was like, actually, I'd probably go buy a house and a boat and some other things, like, because damn you, you're not going to tell me how to spend this $250,000. I'm not going to invest this money. I can figure this out. I'll do it. Give it to me. I'll do it.
Of course.
That's
honest.
But then as you were educating me, what I got was that there is, like, actually, if the money could grow itself, like I think of a golden goose with laying golden eggs. Like if it could grow itself, then I would have, like, my own little dumpster diver, like 5-cent can, like machinery, like conveyor belt that would just be cranking out money for me to play as many arcade games as I want, which is which is a cool thought just for how do I partner with money instead of, like, how do I hoard money?
Yeah.
Because I only get one quarter. How could I partner with money to create more money is sort of how I heard that. And if I could use my business as maybe the conveyor belt, or the business as the golden goose that lays the golden egg, I could actually protect and partner with my business to create this type of extra income. And I just have never, I don't think I've ever gotten there.
You will.
Yeah, I get that. I think in my mentally thinking, like, I love the idea. Rich Dad Poor Dad is what got me into business. So thinking about passive income and all those things as a concept is very sexy and very cool. As it relates to my rebellious carnal nature of, like, damn you, you're not going to tell me what to do. Yep. I haven't been able to bridge the gap of, like, passive income is a reality for me because I'm so busy hoarding money because you're going to only limit me to one game and secondhand shoes that I haven't been willing to cross the chasm of possibility. Yeah. Beautiful.
So, friend, you are the biggest thinker I have ever met. And you are somebody who knows how to set his intention and set his path for success. And I think what you're not recognizing in yourself right now when it comes to money is like you're living out of that place of fear in your relationship with money. Like, you're still little boy Chris who wants what he wants, and he doesn't want the quarter. He wants unlimited. And I think that you're going to have to bridge that gap with belief, which you're good at. So there's hope for you, right? Bridge that gap with belief that your relationship with money can and will change. And there is more than enough. There will be more than enough. Second thing I want to say, a lot of times, I'm not saying this is you, a lot of times people fight me tooth and nail on their profit account. I had somebody say to me this week, hey, I don't see any reason why I should be putting money in my profit account over here when I'm working on paying off a line of credit. And I was like, you have missed the entire point. Right? The entire point. And it's incredibly difficult to convey to somebody unless they've actually done it. It's one of those things like you just got to try it to actually feel it. But you know, the thing that happens for people when they have their profit account and they do what they're asked to do with it, which is put money in it before they do anything else, is even if it's $10 or even if it's 1,000, whatever that number is, money goes over into this account and then it goes again and it starts to grow and grow and grow and grow. And we let it sit there for an entire quarter. And people think I'm being cutesy or, you know, splitting hairs with the profit account. No, because I have literally watched people go from I don't believe to I am unstoppable because they put money in their profit account because something gets checked in your head. Something gets checked for you emotionally where you're like, I am really doing good. I'm okay. I have more than enough. My business is healthy. I hired this person. She made me do this crazy thing of putting money in a profit account. But it's kind of like the idea of commission breath, right? Like I think of a used car sales guy, like who's like, okay, I got to sell some cars, you know, and if he hasn't sold any cars all month, it's almost impossible for him to sell cars because he has commission breath. Everybody can sense it about him. He is putting something out there subconsciously that he doesn't even know that he's doing. But it seems like when that same guy, we'll pick on the guy, has had 4 deals closed this month, then business just flows for him.
Right.
Because he doesn't have commission breath. And I think that for you, my friend, and our friends listening, the realm of possibility of bridging that gap to like, I actually have a healthy relationship with money and I'm putting away the scarcity and the rebellion that I'm carrying from my childhood and what I believe about money. All right, I've cleared that out. What shifts is when money goes into that profit account like it's supposed to all the time. There's something that happens. The commission breath disappears. The money starts to flow. But you can make more money all day long. Not you, Chris, but you and me or anyone. We can go make more money all day long, but we've already done that. And we already know that it doesn't necessarily translate into the financial prosperity and freedom and assets, creating assets that we want, which is why we have to pick up the 5-pound weight and start building a new muscle called 5% to profit.
I love how tangible that is, like that as you are disciplined or even just have set up the systems and the automations to move money into the profit account and that you start to see that grow, that you have this new experience of like the commission breath falls off and what you step into this new version of you that knows yourself as maybe not an investor yet, but you know yourself as someone who can have what you want to have when you want to have it. Without this rebellious, like, this is the last quarter I'm going to get. I'm going to go spend I'm going to enjoy all of this because I don't know when the next quarter's coming. Right. And that there's this opportunity to step into a new identity. Really, there's really a new identity because before it's the kid. My identity is the kid who gets no sugar cereal and has to dumpster dive for cans and bottles to afford arcade games to this person who now doesn't have to dumpster dive.
No.
But actually is abundant, and I can pick and choose when I want to play a game, if I want to play a game, but it's not the game that's running my life. right? Because that's really what it's like. Game, play, need to play game, play game. There's just this running of it because I can't have it, to this, I have plenty, I'm abundant, and I can pick and choose the things I want to choose. And there's this, the word like maturing keeps coming in my head. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's like this stepping into the next version of Chris 2.0, like the next version of who Chris is meant to be in the world as a change maker.
Yeah.
Where I'm not driven by these primal, carnal, rebellious behaviors, but driven by benevolent, positive, abundant thought processes. Yes?
Yeah.
Makes sense?
And it's kind of like referencing back to our last episode where, I was stuck in Texas and I got a new address.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the coordinates changed and I was unlost. Totally. Right?
Yep.
So that what's possible is that we do get to choose what our relationship with money looks like.
Yeah.
And when we have new coordinates, then anything is possible.
That is what's possible. Because now I feel like instead of fighting for the next arcade game, right? Instead of a quarter, I get $5 from Bottle Exchange to go play $5 worth of games. What it changes is now I get to own the arcade, which is that's a new coordinate. The new coordinate isn't how much money can I collect? Can I scrounge? Can I hustle? Can I grind for in order to play more games? Now I get to just own all the games. And all of a sudden, it's funny. The weird thing is, like, when you own all the games, it's not interesting anymore. You're like, I'm gonna go look at what this is really about. Like, what's my life really for? Yeah. Right. It breaks the pattern of like, but it's so good because that I think so many of us as creatives in entrepreneur land are simply trying to fight for our creation.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Totally.
And there's been so much resistance and no agreement for us being able to create in life. Like parents are like, oh, you should get a real job. Friends are like, oh, I'm making all sorts of money. And we are grinding, hustling for our art, for our creative adventures, self-expressions. Yeah. And in some ways it's like, damn you, you're not going to tell me I can't create. You're not going to tell me I can't be self-expressed in this version of who I am. And we are the misfits. We're the outliers. We're the ones that don't do it like everybody else does it. And so there's some form of like rebellion to protect and hoard our art. Yeah. Because you're not going to tell me I can't do my art. Right. But the minute we step over that and cross the chasm of, like you said, like the simple mechanics of like putting money in a profit account, and we start to have this growing fund of profit, all of a sudden it's not about protecting our art anymore and saying, screw you, you can't tell me what to do with my art. It's about how can I own the art? How can I expand the art? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And that my art becomes my livelihood. No, we don't need to have entrepreneurial poverty. That is not necessary. We can be self-expressed and we can have a livelihood from our business because we are misfits. Those of us who step out and decide, hey, I'm going to screw that job or screw that college education and I'm going to go create and I'm going to go make my own way. And at the end of the day, we also need to live. I know that's kind of practical and unsexy, but we need to make a livelihood. And I think that people who would say, kind of piggybacking last episode, that they're disorganized. Like all creatives are like, I'm disorganized with money. That's not my thing. That's not my bag. It's not that. It's that they're tired of only being given a quarter and wearing Nike knockoff shoes. It is something they're carrying, and what they have to do is let it go and create a livelihood. And that isn't in conflict with your art. I think that we think it's in conflict. I see it every day. It's not a conflict. When you create a business that is your livelihood, it gives you the freedom and the lifestyle to be as creative as you want to be and travel and see the world and grow your soul and all of those things. They're not exclusive and they're not something we can categorize. When we try to categorize them, we get lost. They're the wrong coordinates. So good.
All right, take a deep breath.
Yeah. It was great. That was fantastic.
That was great. Thanks for being so transparent on my show.
That's how I roll. It's so great. Well, listen, I mean, anybody that thinks they have it all figured out, like, congratulations to you. I mean, let's vote for you for president. I mean, way to go.
Yeah.
I think we're all, there was a quote I heard from a guy named Ram Dass. That's actually not his real name. It's his new name.
Okay.
Ram Dass. And he said, we're all just walking each other home. Like in life, right? Like in life, we're all just walking each other home. Like, yeah, you think you have all the answers and you're better than me? Listen, pal, we're all just walking each other home. So I have no problem putting myself out there and being transparent about it all, because I get that you don't, like, you listening to this, you don't have anything over me. Like, we're all just figuring it out as we go. And by the way, the more we can all stop hiding behind this mask of perfection, or this, I don't want you to see the real me, the more we can step out from behind that, the more results we produce in the world, and the more your real art gets out in the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So anyway, thank you for
another good one.
Great episode. If people want to reach out to you because they want to learn how to create this type of profitable mechanism in their life, as well as having, like, the golden goose. If people want to get a golden goose from you, how do people reach you?
Well, I don't sell golden gooses, but I will happily help people discover their own. They can reach out to me at, I forgot,
ProfitDiscoveryCall.com.
Wow, it must be the end of my day. ProfitDiscoveryCall.com.
That's right. Beautiful. Leanne, thanks for a great episode. Thanks for being my friend. We'll catch you next time. See ya.
See you next time.